Well, welcome everybody. I am Heidi Kaisend. I am publisher of Creative Retailer magazine and owner of Hen and Chick Studio in Conrad, Iowa. And I welcome all of you here today. You might be wondering why am I hosting this? What's the game plan here? And in the next 20 minutes, we just want to really cover and highlight for you some of the opportunities that quilt shop owners do have in this industry. And I think that everyone who is listening will understand and say that being able to give back to any organization is an important part of doing business today. I actually saw an article this weekend. I did not copy it. I'm not going to quote it. But it is just essential that as part of our general business plan that we always do have some type of opportunity to give back. And these days there are endless opportunities, and we love that because then each of us as business owners can find the right combination of giving back to what fits to our business. And that might be something very local. It might be something that is much bigger picture. And today is just an opportunity for us. I am serving on the board of Quilts for Kids. And I just felt like this was an opportunity for us to share with one of our partners, QT Fabrics, this amazing program. And if you are not familiar with it, hopefully in the next 20 minutes, you're going to become familiar with it and be able to make a decision if this is right for you. And I'm going to MC this. We've got some special guests today. Certainly want to welcome QT Fabrics. We've got Ken. You guys can, I'll say wave, however you want to do it. Tiffany is here. And then we've got Linda. She is from Quilts for Kids. And we have even another very special guest, and that is Josie, and we're going to be hearing from her in a little bit. So super glad to have all of these players with us to do this presentation. All right. We are recording, obviously, so if you have any comments, things that you want to also put in the chat, you have questions, if we're going fast enough that you say, oh, wait a minute, I want to know about that, put it in the comments. I know Tiffany probably will be watching, for sure Andrea is, and we will definitely try to get to any of those questions before the end of today's event, okay? All right, so wonderful. Well, let's get started. There's basically three parts that I want to cover today. It is the opportunities for retailers. And we're going to be talking about what we can purchase, how we can sell it, and how we get involved. And today's whole umbrella falls under Quilts for Kids. So the first few words and the first guest I would like to bring to your attention is Linda. And welcome, Linda. Glad you're here with us today.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here. Hi, everyone. If you don't know who I am, I'm Linda Aurier, the founder of the charity Quilts for Kids. And I'm proud to say that this year we are 24 years old. We started in 2000. And in that period of time, we have donated hundreds of thousands of quilts to children fighting a life battle with illness, as well as children of poverty, natural disasters, and so many more children in need. Each year, we strive to turn tears to smiles in the children that we donate to. And this fabric launch will enable us to reach so many more children who are going through a really difficult time in their lives. And I wanted to thank you, Josie, for not only touching my heart, but so many other people who are so proud of you for going beyond what your experience is and created this beautiful line, and thank you to QT Fabric for their willingness to do this fabric line and donate the proceeds to Quilts for Kids, which is unheard of in this industry. And through shop owners like you, we can take care of children in your community also, because we are not only nationwide, we are a worldwide organization. So I'm going to turn this all back to you. If you have any questions, you can reach us at quiltsforkids.org. Go for it.
Wonderful, Linda. And I want to make sure, if you want to type that address into the chat, so that if somebody has that opportunity, or if Tiffany can for you, whatever that would look like, making sure that that address is in the chat. Again, your website is full of information. I love the fact that you are very, very established in what you're doing. You're not new to this, and that you're just continuing to try to grow your program, because I think we all know that there are endless numbers of kids that are in need, and a quilt can certainly make a difference in their lives. So I love that. Love that. Love that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is this opportunity. And Linda has alluded to it, is that we can actually purchase fabric from QT Fabrics, and this particular collection of fabric with the proceeds. So the collection is called Delightful Dreams. And I am going to share my screen here. I should have had this on here. And so you can start to get a little bit of the taste of what this fabric collection is looking like. It is bright and it's colorful, and it will be shipping in July. So orders can now be placed with your QT rep for Delightful Dreams. And Tiffany, if there's any of this information that I am, if I misquote, please stop me, and let's make sure we get that stopped. But it is a 9-piece collection, and you can purchase it in either 10 or 15 yard bolts. And that is something that is, I think, just important to know, is that the shops have the ability to, I'll say, work with, again, what they need for their shop. Love the fact that it's only 9 pieces. These days, that's a really nice size collection. It's not too big. It's not too little. And as you could just see in that little bit of fabric that I showed you there, it certainly does lend itself to putting together with blenders. And Tiffany, I did not write the suggested blenders down, but I wrote that you guys have already selected, correct, a whole group of blenders that would work.
If you'd like, I could quickly share my screen in our webpage.
Absolutely. If you have the 9 fabrics also.
Yes. Let me make sure that you can see my screen. Are you seeing my screen?
Yep, we sure are.
So this is our webpage dedicated to Delightful Dreams on qtfabrics.com. It has all of the SKUs as part of the collection, the 9 that Heidi mentioned. There's also a tote bag panel that we have, but this is the collection. And then, in addition to the collection, we obviously always provide projects, but what Heidi was mentioning is we've pre-selected and predetermined some matching QT blenders, suggested coordinates for you to take the guesswork out of it. And these SKUs are Color Dance, and the fabrics are all listed on our website here. So those are the coordinates that we've already predetermined will coordinate perfectly with the collection Delightful Dreams.
Thank you for helping me clarify all of that. I think one of the things that QT has, I'm going to say, become known for, and again, Tiffany, you can further explain any of this if we need more information, but you guys are great at providing a digital toolkit and plenty of fact sheets. I'm going to call those to help shop owners gain as much information as they possibly can about this collection.
Yes. We have a page dedicated especially to this collection, QT Cares. It's for Quilts for Kids, and it's highlighting Josie's collection with QT.
And I do have that, so I'm going to pull that up.
Okay. But yeah, we strive to make sure, take a lot of the work out of your hand, because you're, juggling a lot of pieces in your shop. And, with our graphic expertise, with our ability to put things together when we're designing the collection and the marketing tools, we figured, why would we keep that to ourselves? Let's make sure that you all have access to them as well. So the page that we put together has an info sheet about Josie and her story. It has info about Quilts for Kids and each of our friends of QT who have provided support to this collection. And we often do this with all of our collections, and especially with bigger programs, but this particular page was put together specifically for this collection in mind, and the outreach for charity and community giving back for the Delightful Dreams collection.
And I think it's just, very important to see that. I mean, you've got, By Annie, Fabric Cafe, Quilting Renditions, Poorhouse, Quilts. You've got some really great designers that have committed not only, I'm going to say, their time, but, specific project ideas to help use those fabrics and to help shop owners figure out how to better, I'll say, get the most out of their fabric that they would be buying.
Yes, and we also have on here, there's some video content. There's a story from Kevin, who initiated the idea for this collection working with Josie. There's a story from
here,
Josie
right?
herself and other people. So,
yep. And I think this is a perfect segue. I am going to, did it switch there to the video screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like everybody to be able to watch this, and then we are going to talk to Josie herself.
Essentially the why and for my story. Why I was diagnosed with cancer. Celebrate Christmas at my
yeah, the audio is not working, Heidi.
Hmm.
I thought it was just me, but I just got a text.
All right. Well, and of course, you know how this is.
Yeah.
So here's what we're going to do then. We're just going to skip the video. The video is on the page we just showed you at qtfabrics.com, QT Cares. So that's going to be a resource page you're going to want to go back to, and you will be able to watch that video. You gotta love technology, right? This is where we go with it. We're just gonna go with it. So instead of a video, we're gonna go live to Josie. So Josie, come on and join us here.
Hello.
And everybody, I would like to introduce to you Josie, the artist behind the fabric, Delightful Dreams. And how are you doing today, Josie?
I'm doing very well. It's crazy to see how many people showed up, I feel. I mean, I knew there was going to be a lot, but I'm excited.
Well, good. And the thing about the way we do these videos and the reason we record it is I can guarantee you that there will be dozens more that will watch the recording of it because they're busy helping customers right now or doing things that they can't watch. So I would guess that there will be hundreds of people that will, by the end of the day, have seen this video. So that's awesome. So Josie, let's just tell me just a little bit about you. Give us some highlights. Who is Josie? Who are you?
Well, I'm Josie. I do a lot of art most of the time. That comes in a lot of different forms. I say it in the video. One of those is makeup, obviously, as my display is on today. One of those is, hand markers and painting and this watercolors, which is primarily what I did for the fabric. Um, I love to draw. I love to sew. I love to listen to music. I love playing games. What else? That's a bit. I like playing games. I like drawing. That's
Hey,
the best way
that's
I think I can
all.
describe myself.
That's awesome. And you are a cancer, can we say, are you a cancer patient or a cancer survivor?
I'd say both. I had my first round, I guess, in in 2019, where I was diagnosed with cancer in my lower back, which pressed on my spine and it pressed on a bunch of nerves, so I couldn't walk for a good while. And then we got that one sorted out. And then again, it came back in my lungs, and that's where it stayed for the most part. So we're going through treatment now, but it's looking pretty good.
That is awesome. That is awesome. It's never, I'm sure, not an easy journey, is it? No.
God, no, this has been going on for 5 years.
Yeah.
But
And
I'm
Josie,
having fun, so.
you know what? And you obviously have an attitude that is getting you through this. What does the
Mhm.
process of creating, what does that do for you? What does it feel like for you? Is it freeing? Is it, what is the process like for you? Is it just like you get to live in a different world for a few minutes when you're in that creative mode? We all find that
Mhm.
different.
It's a little difficult to answer, but I guess it's more of just a creative outlet and a way to there's a word that I was looking for, like, can't think of now, but like a way to not really convey emotions, but just to like get out, just have something to do, like a distraction. That's what I was looking for. A
Oh,
distraction, more or
sure.
less.
Yeah. A distraction would absolutely be, I'm sure, because you have a lot
Mhm.
on your mind, and being able to, to express that through the beautiful colors and patterns and designs that you're working on. That is good. When, I know that in creating this collection, did you have a thought about, from your perspective, as to what this collection could look like?
Mhm.
Or did Ken and Tiffany say, "Hey, we need 9 pieces of fabric," or did you just go, "Hey, I came up with these ideas," and you selected them? I mean, how was that process for you? I always think it's interesting to get to know the artist, and here we have you right here, so I can ask these questions.
So my original thoughts were to do a lot of I draw a lot of ocean and bugs and stuff like that. And so that was my original thought. And then they were like, well, a lot of people do that. So my second thought was something that I use to fill up pages in my sketchbook. My sketchbook's all the way over there, so I don't really want to go up and grab it, but when there's empty space or when something doesn't look like it's filled enough of it, I put stars and swirls and a bunch of, this type of thing on it. And so that was my second thought. And I honestly think it was the best one I went with. I love how it looks. I'm happy with how it turned out. Um, yeah, yeah,
That's,
there's not really much to say about.
yeah,
It was one of the best
it's
things I
awesome.
think I did. Yeah.
You've said exactly what we needed to hear. Do you understand the power of what you're doing? Like, that the fact that you have created this fabric collection, and that retailers across the country are going to buy it, and Linda and her organization is going to benefit from that, so that other kids can benefit? Do you grasp? I mean, does that?
I think I know like the main. Well, I mean, I don't think you can really ever fully grasp the size of something like this big, but I mean, I was talking with my dad about it a while or not too long ago, and we were talking about it, and Dad was like, "Are you really sure you know how big this is? Like, how many people are gonna see this?" And I'm not sure. I feel like I have the main grasp of how big it is, but then again, something this big, you can never picture that
No,
really.
no, you
So
can't. You can't. But I can assure you that I'm whether I'm not sure that a piece of fabric has been sold yet. I don't know. It just was launched last week, so maybe it's selling. I don't have those numbers. You know,
Dad's
those
been
types of
telling me
things.
that people are buying it, so that's good to know.
Oh, then awesome. Okay, see,
Yeah, so far so
I'm
good.
just a shop owner. All right, so it's selling. So
Mhm.
I mean, I think that is something that is, I want to, guess I want to make sure you know. I mean, I think that the power of what you are doing, no matter how many kids you reach, whether you reach 1 or 1,000, is absolutely amazing, and that you should be so proud of your efforts wherever this goes. And so kudos to you for attempting this task, because I can assure you that there are plenty of people who would never even think it was plausible, let alone actually attempt to do what you're doing. And so I think that's amazing, Josie.
Thank you. I really couldn't have done it without Tiffany or Janet Anderson. I don't know if she's here right now, but thank you both a lot, and thank you to Kevin for the idea and for Ken for really making it happen. So it wasn't just me. I really couldn't have done it without anyone else as well, though.
Well, I think your Golden Globe speech in thank yous is perfect. And if we had a runway
That's Larry.
for you, I would say I would hope that your parents are extremely proud of you, and that you're gracious and humble, and that's wonderful, Josie.
Yeah.
Do
Heidi, can I just jump in for 1 sec?
you bet.
Having had the privilege of working with Josie on this, I have learned so much more than I have taught. I have received so much information, and you've been a pro all along, Josie. If I could hire you today, I would. You're just a really incredible kid. You've done the video all on your own, and the brightness and cheeriness of the fabric is literally what you exude when I speak with you and what I receive from you. And I am so, so excited for everyone to experience a little bit of Josie.
That is
Yay.
awesome. Thank you,
Thank
Tiffany,
you.
for jumping in.
Heidi,
Josie. Yeah. Oh, yes, Linda, go ahead.
Linda, Josie, I wanted to say thank you. This goes so far beyond, if shop owners are listening, this goes so far beyond bringing fabric into your store. This is actually touching the lives of children fighting a life battle with all kinds of things. So, Josie, you're my rock star, and you are so mature beyond your years and so incredibly talented. And you make me cry when you tell me everything you're going through. And
Aw,
I adore you and have more gratitude than you can imagine. So thank you.
thank you.
One last question for the moment, Josie, and if we need to come back, let's see. There's a message here, and we'll read it here in just a second. But I do have one more question for Josie before we go on and talk about the other, I'm going to say, business elements that we need to, so that all the retailers can hear about it. And this is just between you and me, Josie. Don't just pretend nobody else is listening. You know what I mean? This is going to be top secret news, confidential. Do you have the next collection figured out? And do you know what we're going to be seeing the next time?
Haven't talked to it with Tiffany or Janet, but I have an idea.
Oh, good.
So
Well,
hopefully it's good.
I hope you are well on the way to creating another collection. And if you need any help, getting those ideas approved by Ken or anything, you just let me know. I know Ken. I'm not quite as tall as Ken, but I'm tall. I can stand up to him and make sure that he says yes to whatever it is that you want to do. Okay.
Okay,
Awesome.
good.
All right. Well, Josie, thank you. And I'm going to keep going through our presentation here. Please stay on. And if we have time at the end and have any questions for Josie and that kind of thing, we'll come back to that. And I'm going to see Jennifer, who is Josie's mother, wrote that she and Mark want the launch to be very successful for Quilts for Kids, and that her video really tells her own story. And I have already figured out what the technical problem is. I'm using a headset that's connected to my computer, and I was hearing it just fine. I don't know, you know what I mean? And I'm sure that because of the technology I'm using on this end, it just wasn't allowing it to come through to the Zoom. So again, you will be able to go back to qtfabrics.com/qtcares. And in the bottom of that first box, you are going to be able to play that same video and watch it, plus the other resources that QT has put together for you there. Okay, so the next thing I just want to reiterate is just the remarkable commitment that QT Fabrics has made to this collection. And 50% of the proceeds from Delightful Dreams do go to Quilts for Kids. And, thank you, Ken and Tiffany, for that commitment. Do either of you want to speak to that specific element of this project right now?
But just really quickly, I'm glad that QT can have a small role in this whole project. A number of years ago, when I was at Quilt Market, Linda approached me about working with her and being able to supply either fabric or monies, whatever. But when she told me the stories and the efforts, not only that she leads, but the thousands of volunteers around the country that have been producing these hundreds of thousands of quilts through the years, we had to say yes. And so this is just a natural evolution as we continue to grow and work. And I'm so happy about the connection with Josie and our entire team. And so thank you everyone for attending today. When you do see a salesperson, consider it. We're going to be offering some in-store selling tools also when the fabric does come in. So you won't be standing alone on this. So we're developing that as we speak. And so I'm hoping for a great success for not only Josie, but for Quilts for Kids and all the children that they support and that we're looking to help out. Thank you.
Wonderful, Ken. Thank you. So the second part of what I just want to talk about here is to highlight, again, Tiffany has already shown us just a few things that were on the website, but QT has gone out, and not only do they have free projects that will be provided by QT Fabrics that are going to be available, but then again, projects, and let me see if I can just scroll back to that page. Sometimes there's too many screens here. Let me see if I can go back to that page real quick. All right, can we see the QT page there? Everybody see that? Okay, so again, they have partnered with multiple companies. I'll scroll here and stop so that you can see them, and I won't. Chris Poor from Poorhouse Quilt Designs has created a tote bag that can, and if you can mute yourself, or if Andrea, if you can help me mute background noise, that would be great. There we go. Again, Chris has a tote bag that can be used on a wheelchair, or on a walker type thing, or be over the shoulder. We've got quilting renditions, and they have designed a couple of very colorful quilts, and I'm loving that. I love the one, I think it's called Punctuation. I don't know, that one's striking my fancy myself. And then Fabric Cafe. If you're not familiar with Donna and all of her 3-yard quilt bundles, and I agree that this fabric collection is going to be perfect for that. Love the heart pattern. I could just see this being used in so many ways. To give to kids, and those 3-yard quilts are fast and fun. And so again, Fabric Cafe has those patterns. And we've got By Annie, well known for her different bags as well. And me on this fabric is just calling out for kids projects, and she's picked out I love it. The grab some grub, got your backpack, project bag type things that would be perfect for this bright colored fabric. Looking great. So kudos to all the relationships that Tiffany and Ken and QT Fabrics have created for this particular project. And then beyond that, for us shop owners, the opportunity to just go wild with how we can use this particular fabric to create different projects is just it's endless. And so I certainly am looking forward to that, looking at that myself. The last part of the segment here that I would like to just touch on is how to get involved. So obviously, the first and foremost thing is that you can actually buy fabric and sell it. And just that simple process of what the retailers, that what we do every single day is step one. And if that's, and this is where I say, if that's what you can do what you can in this process. And, just that first step and that first purchase is important to the entire big picture. Then it goes on and on again of the possibilities. You could host a charitable event and participate in helping others through some type of event. There are different programs out there also that you can make an item and participate that way. You could be a drop-off point for quilts. Linda is always looking for ways for the Quilts for Kids to be able to get access to the quilts. And you could actually be a drop-off point. So if you were willing to accept quilts that people are making, that is an opportunity to get involved. You could host classes featuring the fabrics. I'm getting a spring class schedule figured out, and I think it won't come until July, but as I start to think about summer classes, I think these fabrics and back to school classes, they're going to be right on time and right on target for working with some class projects. You also could simply make quilts to donate for Quilts for Kid. I'm actually sitting in my retreat center. I have lots of space up here where I could host an event where we invite people to come in and sew for a day, and those quilts get donated. So it could be something like that. Have an open sew and encourage your customers to come in and work on projects. And maybe 2 or 3 people are teamed up together to work on a quilt so that you get more quilts completed by the end of the day. And again, the opportunities are endless. There also is a need at Quilt for Kids for fabrics, and Linda, because Linda also puts together kits. And so again, if there's something that you say, I've got brightly colored, kid-oriented fabrics that I don't know what to do with, this would be a great opportunity to reach out to Linda and say, hey, this is different than Delightful Dreams, but how could I use this fabric to help your organization? So it's, again, there's lots of different alleys and different paths that we could take to not only help Linda and the Quilts for Kids organization, but potentially use up some fabric in your store that maybe you weren't sure what to do with. Okay. All right. Want to make sure again, I'm sure Tiffany or somebody's put it in there, but you've got the address for QT Fabrics and their care page, the QT Cares page. You've got the website address directly for Linda, so that you can, number 1, order fabric from QT. Number 2, get involved with Quilts for Kids and make sure that you have that opportunity. I was hoping to keep this to about a half hour. We're at that point. I'm going to say we've covered the highlights. I was going for like a schoolhouse type presentation, and I think we've covered that. But we're all here. We have time. Tiffany and Ken and Linda, anything that we haven't covered or anything you would like to reiterate in that information that we've been talking about?
This is Linda, and I would like to let shops know that a winning situation for them has been to become a chapter of Quilts for Kids. And that is the only way to have quilts stay in their community, because we want to make sure there's enough quilting, that they've gone through a washer and dryer cycle before they're gifted to a children's hospital. There's just different parameters that we work within. So if you have any questions, you can direct them to me. You can always send an email to info@quiltsforkids.org. And just in your note, say, could you forward this to Linda? And I'm available to speak to anybody at any time. And I just want you to know that I'm grateful that you're helping us help more children. Thank you.
And Linda, thank you. That was such a great point to remember, that if your quilts do not have to leave your community, and Linda can work with you on making sure that that happens. So that is exciting. The more kids that can be touched and reached in a positive way like this is wonderful.
And just to reiterate what Ken had started to talk about too, is not only are we doing this wave of promotion to you, the shops, to get you guys excited, we will also have a second wave when the fabric is delivered to the shop. And we'll make sure that there's a video from By Annie that's coming, and a video with Fabric Cafe, both. They'll be interviewing Linda to get more information from their perspective and the ways that they work with charities. And that will be available for the consumers, and you can share that as well. So that'll get more people excited, keep the domino effect of inspiration going. And then also we'll have shelf talkers or something of that sort for your shop, so that Josie, there might be a QR code or something that they can go to that Josie video directly and be inspired and share it in your quilt guilds and things of that nature. So well, anything that you need, if you ever need something specific from QT to help you with this program, we're here for you.
Thank you. Any other questions that we can answer while we're here, while you've got all the resources here?
Heidi, I have a question for you. Is this video something that we can share with the general public so that they go to their shops and say, hey, can you bring in this line?
Sure. The video will be accessible to all retailers, and certainly I'm assuming that Tiffany's going to put it on their website. If you want to say it'll be public information at that point, you bet. Yeah.
Great.
And certainly could clip out I'm going to say the best part of the program has probably been Josie. And so I'm going to say thank you to Josie again for coming on live and being able to share, I'll say, her excitement for the fabrics. And if you can't see Josie, she's excited. I love it. That's right. She's got herself on mute, but I think we would hear her cheering a little bit too. So thank you, Josie, for that excitement. We love it. And I don't know about any of the other retailers here, but I feel when a retailer has a connection to whatever product it is that they're selling, and you can relate that connection to your customers, you will be more successful in selling that product. And that was part of the goal today, is that if you become more connected to what this product is about, it will make a difference in how you sell it in your store. All right. Well, we are going to officially wrap this up, and I'm going to say thank you again from Creative Retailer, QT Fabrics, Quilts for Kids, and Josie. Thank you very much for joining us. We certainly hope that you will consider purchasing Delightful Dreams and helping us with this cause.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.